Alright, my YouTube family, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and the first thing I'm going to say as we start this video off is that if you already know when the new difficulty drops into the game and how to get the new exotic, please do not waste your time watching this video. You already have the answers I'm going to provide. But for everyone else, I did want to throw a video together really quick, not only passing along a few friendly reminders, but more importantly, answering some of the most commonly asked questions you sent the channel. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is how are you going to be able to unlock the new Mastery difficulty, which again does drop on February 11th. And the only way you're going to have access to that difficulty and the new Manhunt Takeover mission is by completing all of the weekly scouts which have been going on this entire season. Now, we're currently on week 15, and the main reason I'm letting you know about this right now is because I know there is a portion of the community that did not do these on a weekly basis, and because of that, you're a little bit behind. Some of you may be on Scout week 7 or 8, and other players like myself may only be a week or two behind. Now, the good news is that even if you are, let's say, on Scout week 2 or 3, you can drop the difficulty to normal. You are going to get through this in no time whatsoever. And as of my recording this video, we are 4 days and 16 hours away from that new Manhunt Takeover mission being put into the game, and that is how you're going to have access to that new exotic chess piece, and I will talk about that at the end of the video. Now, the other thing I'd like to make sure I mention, for those of you out there who may not be able to complete all these scouts by February 11th, don't worry about it, you're totally fine. I'm just letting people know if you want to be able to jump into that Mastery difficulty and get that new exotic on day 1, these are the things you need to do. Now, another question I get at the channel is if you need to complete the seasonal journey to have access to that new difficulty, the new exotic, things like that. The answer is no. Now, for me, I'm only on seasonal journey mission 5, and I just didn't feel like continuing to do it. Now, I know I'm missing out on certain rewards, which as you'll see as we scroll down are some exotic caches. There is a hunter mask at the very end, but for me, it just wasn't worth the grind. It's a personal preference, and I know for many players out there, including myself, you really weren't the biggest fan of modifiers for this season, but one thing I can say is that next season, they've streamlined it. It is much more user-friendly, and as someone who didn't really touch them this season, I'm looking forward to the next one. Now, at this point, we are going to talk about the current event timeline and what you can expect to see in the game between now and when Year 6 Season 3 begins, which is going to be on February 25th. Now, right now, we have Golden Bullet going on. We also have an Expertise XP event. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will leave a link to a video I posted yesterday. And there also happens to be a Valentine's event going on in the game from February 4th to February 18th. And you're going to find that by opening up your map and scrolling over to projects. Now, the other thing I'd like to point out is that starting next week, there's also going to be a Season XP event. And this is for people out there. Let's say you did not complete your Battle Pass. It is going to be the perfect time to work on that because you want to make sure you get this done before the end of the season, because if you don't, any items you did not pick up, you're not going to have access to, right? They don't just give them to you. You got to make sure you earn them. So take that time and complete it. If you've paid money for a season pass, you want to make sure you get your money's worth. Now, the last thing we're talking about today is a new exotic chest, the Provocator. This is something I'm really looking forward to, especially as someone who loves run and gun builds. And not only that, with the new modifiers for next season, there are going to be a lot of builds you can put together with this thing. Now, I'd like to clarify something really quick. This exotic is a guaranteed drop. The first time you complete this thing on the Mastery difficulty, you're going to get it no matter what. However, to be very clear, if you do not want to do this on the highest difficulty, you don't need to. There is a chance for it to drop in the lower difficulties, legendary, heroic, challenging, hard, normal, all that stuff, and you know I will be bringing you farming videos. And with all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.